Hi, welcome back to the Dylan Rounds case. This is not a live premiere, though there will be one later on. More will be explained shortly. So today, what I want to share with you is the latest updates in the Dylan Rounds case and developments made, okay? I'm going to be referring back to the Facebook page, Find Dylan Rounds, share with you the updates from what Candice Cooley has said herself, list off bullet points, give my opinions, analyse it, show some photos as well, which might provide a different angle, perspective of the situation with Dylan, etc. Now, to briefly explain the video later on, which will be a live video premiere at about 9:15 p.m. UK time, it will be looking, I don't want to say too much right now, but looking at missing person report posters of Dylan Rounds and looking at the details listed on the sheets, because there are some massive inaccuracies and switching and changing of information, okay? And it's very important. So I'll be sharing that with you later tonight, 9:15 p.m. UK time, okay? Now, you can still leave your thoughts in the comment section of this video, although it's not live, and give your thoughts, opinions, additional information, or if you want to correct anything, feel free to do so. But right now, I'm going to share with you the latest updates. Let's head over to the Facebook page. So here we are on the Facebook page, and we just scroll down. You can see a post by Candice Cooley 17 hours ago. Okay, let's read it out and see what it's all about. It says, BECSO, Box Elder County Sheriff's Office update. It has been 11 days since Justin Rounds and I met with the BECSO and were read the press release that we were told would be released in a day or two. That has yet to happen. As small as it seems, it is yet another lie. Instead of waiting for them to decide to release something, here is what is going on. Okay, so from the looks of it so far, it looks as if Candice is stepping forwards a bit more. She might know certain stuff, but the general public don't know, and that sort of stuff is going to be released public, but Box Elder County are failing to do that, so I guess Candice is, doing it herself, but not revealing everything, because then that could be problematic in general. Now, it's good how it gives kind of a time of when they did meet with Box Elder County Sheriff's Office 11 days ago. So you get an idea of the time frame now to fill in the gaps in between. And the bit about where it says yet another lie, you could be thinking, well, what other lies are there? Well, I mean, an example on the spot could be to do with the boots and the lab, them being sent there, when Candice said, later on, I think it might have been June, July, when taken out by a detective in the car or so, being told certain things, and then Candice said he lied. So I guess that's just a small example. And there'll probably be others. And this is the thing, as she said, it's a small thing, but it's like a snowball effect. If you have many small lies, it will build and build, and it will make you doubt and question more and more over time. One big lie can be damaging. Many small-scale lies can be wearing and worse at times, okay? So, and, frequent small-scale lies makes things more unreliable, untrustworthy. So in the future, you really don't expect or trust or believe anything what someone or something says. So I can understand that. Now, let's read off what's been listed. So, Candice states, the SBI has joined the investigation. I don't know who they really are, but yeah, SBI. Is it another department maybe? Weber County is assisting. Continued FBI assistance. The BECSO will not release lead. So they still want to remain on top and in control, which isn't great. Weber County assisting is good. They've been helpful in the past, from what Candice has said herself, when it came to acknowledgement of public searches in that build up. What else? There will be many items that were gathered, reanalyzed with more advanced technology. So that's quite interesting. You know, depending how you interpret it, it's a very good thing that, but it's also possibly a pointless thing at the same time. You might be wondering how, why. Well, it depends what items are being reanalyzed. I mean, the positive side of it is going back over, fine combing it, or is it tooth combing? Don't know what the fuck wording you call it, where you look back at stuff just in case you missed any evidence, any findings. It can be very helpful and it can be fairly practical, useful. It might, reinforce something. It might tie on to a new lead, or it'll link onto a certain suspect. You never know. It just depends what the items are being analysed, reanalysed. Is it the boots, once again? Is it the grain truck? Is it Dylan's Ford F-150 Burgundy Raptor vehicle? Could it be some clothing? Could it be a tractor? Could it be a bucket, a spade? I don't know, a shovel? It could be anything, because we only know if certain items retrieved, recovered, talked about, like the key fob. I don't know about the guns still. I don't know about the phone still. I saw a comment saying it has been found now. I don't know about that, still a bit dodgy. The boots, etc. But this is where the negative comes in my opinion. Is it too late? Has that evidence worn off? Fingerprints, stains, marks? I don't know. I'm not an expert, but could any of that evidence on a certain object, item, clothing, whatever, become invalid now? It's no longer there. It's weared away. And if not that, certain items, such as the grain truck, which the parents drove home or drove to wherever, them driving it, them touching it, and the grain truck originally was taken for testing, analysing, and they said you can take it home now, and that was before the evidence, forensics, DNA was processed. Back then, not exactly practical, because if they found something important and they needed it for a callback, Candice, Justin, whoever, is already touching the wheel, touching the doors, the gears, the clutch, everything, and that could contaminate, it could spoil the evidence, it could remove it, it could cover it, clutter it, whatever, just fucks it up. And that was back then. So if certain items now that have been used even more since back then, the vehicle, Dylan's, grain truck, other bits of equipment, collectibles, photographs, I don't know, any of that and everything, if it's already been handled and it's been handled even more since, is there any way of that evidence, the original evidence, original fingerprints still remaining intact? Or is that it? It just won't work now. I mean, it looks like they're still doing it, giving it a try, which is a good thing. But how practical, how successful will it be now compared to if they did it much earlier on? That's the big question we've got to ask. And also, what items are being reevaluated and assessed. And yeah, just before I move on, as it says, with advanced technology, like, why wasn't advanced technology used back then? Is it because they didn't have the resources? Is it because now other agencies or departments are stepping in who has that equipment? Could that be the case, maybe? It could explain, I guess. But, the FBI is still assisting, so they would have had resources themselves. So would the technology be the ground penetrating radar stuff, or probably not? maybe not. If items are taken into somewhere, then maybe it'll be other stuff like, yeah. I'm not. You can leave your comments down below. What type of equipment do you think will be used this time round and the sort of technology? Let's continue reading. Candice also says, although we are very disappointed that the BECSO seems to think they have a reason to remain lead, we are at least getting the help we have been screaming for months now. Justin Rounds and I want to truly thank each and every one of you for every letter, phone call, and email that was made, and more than anything, your continued support. We could not have accomplished this for Dylan without you. We will continue to push forward and we'll never stop. We will update here whenever we get stuff that can be released or general stuff that's going on. So, okay, it looks positive overall. There is an image there which we'll have a quick look at. Oh, not that bloody banner again. So, what's this of? Is this the farm? It looks like it. I don't know the relevancy of this image when it dates back to. I can't zoom in because that stupid banner shows up. But I guess that's Dylan's land, maybe. I don't know why they took that photo. There doesn't seem to be a caption, unless it's of a different farming area. There's certain items there I don't remember seeing, but then again, this is up-to-date footage of the area compared to Google Earth. So yeah. I don't know what that blue thing is. Pipe underground, water stuff. Some farming equipment in the distance. I know there was a recent video by Salty Pancakes at the farm land area. I think near a tractor, maybe a grain dispenser, some kind of farming equipment. It looked like it was turned on as well because you heard the engine running. Don't know who had the keys for it at the time. Don't know why or what was going on. It might have just been showcasing the equipment, showcasing it in general, maybe. You can leave your thoughts down below what you think about that Salty Pancakes visit to that place and the equipment shown. But yeah, that's just a little image. So from that overall post, overall message seems to be positive despite all the shit going on. There are steps being put forward, and the time of, getting people to get together, to send emails and letters to the state of Utah, I assume, it has been heard, progression has been made, steps are taken, new people are coming in, and there we go. And I kind of predicted that at some point that something like that could happen, and then that whole positivity and thankfulness comes in, which is natural and normal. But, you got to be realistic, okay? And, humans work like this because it's negative, but it's realistic, and I'm not delusionally jumping up and down with rainbows, okay? It's just my opinion, though. So, whilst all this is going on, how effective is it now compared to if it was done months ago? That's what you got to ask yourself. Could this determine, the timing of whether Dylan would have been found alive or not? Just a brief question, okay? And in addition, who's to say it's not going to go wrong later on? If Box Elder County are still the lead, they have the final say, they still mess around, are awkward and this and that, what will happen in the future? Do all the other departments around who are involved in the different agencies and the FBI, do they step in, take over in some way? Do they report Box Elder County? What happens? Is like in a conflict, arguments? What will happen if it goes wrong? If Box Elder County remain and continue to mess up or cause trouble? Because you can't help but think that, considering how from day one it's been a bit of a disaster all the way through. People criticising YouTube platform and other platforms of distribution and handling and talking of information, but you look back at the main people involved, the authorities, the people there in real life, and they're not exactly doing great either. Things could change now, maybe, I guess the main positive, or the only positive, is you've got the other groups coming in, the SBI, Webber County. They could be quite useful and more competent, actually be more proactive and caring, and to how they handle the case, and maybe communication too. So it's just one of those things, time will tell. But if I had to make a prediction, it would not surprise me if there is yet another twist and turn down the line. It wouldn't surprise me if Box Elder County end up doing something dodgy once again, which catches the attention of the other departments and agencies involved, and then it turns into maybe an inner conflict or inner investigation, an ongoing one in the future. That's the way I see things, okay? Now, we don't just stop there, because there was another image and it was to do with Dylan, and I think there was a brief description of it. Let's take a look at it and analyse. Right, so back on Facebook, and as you see at the bottom, there's a new post by Candice Cooley 18 hours ago. The caption of the photo reads, "This is where he was staying whilst he was planting there. All he really wanted me to bring for groceries was bacon and RC cola. Shook his head at me for bringing too much. That was usual." Okay. So, first of all, just reading that, where he was staying whilst planting there. Planting seeds, I assume. I guess this is all in relation to Dylan's farm. Let's just take a look at the photo itself. Now, I don't think we'll be able to fit the whole image on, so is there another way of showing it? Now, when inspecting the image, it looks relatively normal. I assume this is a house. It's definitely not a trailer because of the actual size of the room and the other rooms too, from the looks of it and the way it's all laid out, like a normal house, a normal kitchen. And that's the thing, normality compared to the living conditions of Dylan Round's trailer and some of the other surrounding areas in Lucin and Montello combined. Rough, untidy, not very clean, a bit cluttered at times. Even Chase Venstra's was a complete mess. Dylan Round's trailer inside was very dusty, dirty. There was a few clean spots, but it was a bit cluttered, and items just left around, opened, going stale, milk, eggs on the side, not put away. Some of the drawers or cabinets left open. That's possibly for other reasons, questionable ones, okay? But you get the idea, and when you compare it to an image like this and you zoom on in, you got the cooker, oven, stove back there, you got the cupboards all in decent condition, the wood as well, and then the sink as well. It looks like you got ketchup on the side, bottle of water in front, a little drinking cup, or one of those cups what you'd use for when you're playing those party games with alcohol, some sugar as well, and then at the sink, fairly liquid, I don't know if that's what you call it in America, microwave at the back. It doesn't look dusty, it doesn't look untidy, it looks normal, okay? When you look at Dylan himself, he does look a bit messy, I assume because he's been on the farm. He's got back, maybe. You look at his, you got a jumper, a hoodie. Looks very dusty and a bit muddied as well. So I don't know what he's been doing. Maybe he was on the ground, fell over, or, just brushing against stuff whilst he's working. I think he's washing a pan or something. But you get an idea of his clothing, what he could have been wearing at the time of when he went missing. The standard description was he would typically wear jeans, as we've seen in most of the photos of Dylan in the past, and he would typically wear a baseball cap and a hoodie. And when you look at this image, you notice he's wearing a hoodie and he does have a baseball cap on. Now, I don't know if that is a John Deere baseball cap or just another version, a different brand, but it's just worth taking into mind. And this does look more up to date compared to past images where he looked younger. There was a few questions circulating saying, oh, why does Dylan appear looking like this back then, but now he looks like that? And there's people were a bit suspicious or confused, the inconsistencies with his face, how he appeared. Some people believed he looked ill. You know, there was an illness, a hidden one. I don't know, but you can leave your thoughts down below. We just zoom in on the face area. Does he look ill to you? I can't comment because, well, I just can't at this moment in time. But he appears okay. Could he be pale in the face? Does he have any marks or spots on him? Looks like near the lower jaw section, there might be the odd little patch. But you can't really infer too much from this image, or at least I can't. But if you've got any points, any observations to make, feel free to list it down below. In addition, just this image alone, would you say he looks 6 foot tall or 5'10"? You remember that missing person report, how it varied? And also, although it's hard to tell, would you say he looks like he weighs 145 pounds or more, 160? Does he look underweight? Does he appear to have health problems? Just little questions you can ask yourself in your own time, okay? It's just worth taking it all into mind at the end of the day. And also, if any of you know regarding that photo taken, which appears to be inside of a house in the kitchen area, and that was when Dylan was planting. So what's the time frame of this? When the photo was taken? Where was it taken at? Is this a house or a farm in Lucin or in Idaho or in Montello? It doesn't look like a motel or a hotel. It looks like a house. Where is the house? Where is the building? Is it Candice Cooley's, Justin Rounds, which is not in Lucin, I assume? Feel free to let me know because it could reveal something. It was just a bit vague, the description. I mean, like it said when he was planting, so basically planting seeds on the farm. And as we've heard, I've heard about that, planting seeds on a Friday night. So for the following day, you would have been tired and stuff. But is there a link there? Or is that 2 separate events? Is this a much older photo? It just seems a bit fragmented. I mean, from doing my map analysis of Lucin, the actual buildings around are limited. You do have the odd farmland, farmyard, maybe about 3 or 4 properties within Lucin. Were any of them the one that was related to that photo, which I just showed you? I don't know. Maybe you do. Hopefully that can be cleared up because it does seem important in a way. It's another photo. I've not seen it before. It might fill in a blank somewhere. So that's it for now. As for most recent up-to-date information from what I've seen and heard, feel free to leave your thoughts down below. And yeah, that's basically it. And later tonight, there should be another video equally in importance, if not more important, more dodgy, more questionable. We're going back, we're returning back, and we're going to check through bits of key detailed information, okay? So make sure you are ready for that, okay? So for now, thanks for watching. I'll see you later. Goodbye.